Do you see even my view of God as the personification of my values runs back all the way to Ahura Mazda, ancient Persian, Zoroaster, yes, but pre that too. This notion that God personifies something less than a person. In my case, I'm assuming it's the following values, because I'm seeing a person as a complex of values. But you see, our understanding of a person rests on this premise that we can understand a thing by reducing it to a simplicity. And then in some sense we've mastered it. We've got the essence of things. We are therefore competently, in a sense, in charge. We know where we are, and we've got the truth. But it's, if I may draw on my own subject that I'm a specialist in officially, I'm qualified from the world's point of view. Economics. We do that. We reduce the economy to a simplistic model because we can't handle anything that's its full complexity, of course. I mean, we've no idea of the trillions of causal relationships going on in this complex we call the economy. We reduce it to a simplistic model, and believe it or not, surprise, surprise, the model's not terribly reliable, to put it mildly. So much so that social scientists and economists in particular get utterly ridiculed by physical science leaning type people who expect a rather greater level of competence in predicting what you can do and what will happen if you do certain things in the economy. Well, surprise, surprise, it's because life is extremely complex. And the person is too. And I suspect the person is complex far more than we could dream if our real personhood is something that exists in a number of dimensions that we have no comprehension of. And all we see is the top of the iceberg, so to speak, in the world that we see, which is the bit above the ocean. Below the ocean, there's this apparently vast area of volume of ice that keeps the top bit where it is and behaving the way it is. You can't understand the iceberg simply from looking at the top part of the ice, other than predict its future location, if it hasn't melted away, of course, and vanished on you. Which, from the shipping point of view, you hope it will. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. To round this off, I want to say then that we actually reduce God to less than a person, whereas he's at least as magnificently complex and wonderful as we are. And given his maturity, conceivably infinitely more so. To relate simply to our view of him is absurdly childish. To love him and be devoted to him, not knowing who he is other than he's wonderful, most able, and most loving, especially to us, but all life, well, that's probably the best we can do. But don't reduce your view of him to less than a person. That's absurd. You know, he's not just Highly likely. Values. It's everything in whatever a person is, and quite presumably far, far more. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns in heaven above, in wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Sing an indefinite number of times, and that's going to say you'll get the message. Well, you'll feel something of the possibility of the reality of such. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from the heavens above in wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.